Hello, everybody. Welcome to Frugal Queen of Tampa. If you're new here, like the title says, a frugal girl from Tampa, Florida, surviving. Um, you know, when life be lifing, I try to find ways to get through it without breaking the bank. And also, for those who don't know what frugal is I wouldn't say cheap or being cheap, although the meaning is about the same. Frugal does sound much more appealing. And being frugal, a lot of people think is depriving yourself, going without, and that's not entirely true. It's actually prioritizing the things that actually matters the most to you. So that will be, prioritizing um, going to on a vacation, prioritizing fixing your home, prioritizing uh, what else can mean a lot to someone. Paying off debt is whatever that's important to you. You focus on that, and most of your money goes towards what you prioritize. And for those who are not new here, I know it's been quite a minute since I had one of these mini podcasts with you. So I just want to thank you for, waiting, being patient with me for the next video. And the one of the reasons why I haven't done a mini podcast is because, for one thing, I've been really busy working, and the other thing is I haven't been feeling good. My nose has been stuffy. Um, I don't know. It sounds like I have a cold. Well, not right now because I'm getting better. But before, my nose was constantly running, and even now, I will have mucus. I know this sounds nasty, but I will have mucus in my throat. Um, Even at work, I had to talk to someone. Well, obviously, I have to talk to people, but there was this one person in particular. I was talking to her over the phone, and I kept coughing to the point that I even had tears in my eyes. And the lady's like, "Please don't choke," and I'm like, "I'm trying not to." It was really bad. But thank God I'm feeling better. I'm getting better. And the other thing is, and I know I have said this in other videos, but life be life. Sometimes you're too busy trying to survive that it's hard to keep track or record of what you've been doing to survive. And living a frugal lifestyle, it doesn't mean that it's perfect, like you save all your money, nothing happens. No, life happens. But what you do when life happens is actually the most important thing. So, for instance, I'm not perfect myself. I have came a long way, yes, but like for instance, um, if you're my friend on Facebook or on Instagram, I'll talk about the importance of that there's food in the house. And sometimes I don't eat in the house. Sometimes I get a $5 meal at McDonald's, or right now they have in churches a $5 summer box. Sometimes I go in the corner of my house and go to Little Caesars when either my nieces are over. I'll get some pizza from Little Caesars, or I'll have my sister Dimely check on the DoorDash app if there's any deals, because she's very good at looking at deals. And I'll do that instead. And am I proud of myself for doing that? No. However, I do try to look for deals When I go out to eat, I don't get whatever I want. I get, something that's on the budget, or, specials. I don't just free fall and get whatever. And everything that I do, I don't think of just myself. I think about my mom. I think about my sister Diamond. I live with them. So when I get myself something to eat, I make sure that they have something to eat too. Or when I eat, I make sure to make, well, when I cook, I make sure to make extras. Like, it's not just me I think about. I think about my mom and my sister too. So, if it was just me, I'll be like, maybe less worry. I mean, I would still worry about how much I spend, but I think about, oh, there's two other mouths that are hungry too. Or like my mom would joke around, when I ask her, do you want some of this snack or something? She's like, does my mouth look square? Is it shaped square? And I'm like, no. So and then I'll share. So especially when it's just one person and you cook at home, oof, you have a few meals right there. But if you live with other family members, or you have a big family of your own, of course, cooking is a number one thing to do, because for a good price you can feed, you know, your whole family and yourself, and still have extra to take to work or to eat for lunch for tomorrow. You can stretch out your pennies more. I recently discovered the Vietnamese pho with the sweet chili sauce, such a perfect combo. Shopping at Dollar Tree or even Walmart is a huge lifesaver. And another thing about frugality, and I know this is easier said than done, but you cannot be lazy. And the reason I say that is, I didn't record this last Tuesday, but I helped my mom with the yard. I didn't record it because number one, I wasn't feeling good. Number two, I just wanted to get the job done, to be honest with you. And I was hot, my nose was running, my head was hurting. I wasn't in the mood. But what I'm saying is, even though I did not feel like going outside in the heat, even though my nose was running and I had to keep catching it, I went outside. I helped with, picking up things and sweeping up and whatever. Of course, my mom did most of the work with cutting the grass because she did move that lawnmower. Um, but it was tough, and I was spraying any weeds so they would die. Um, but we saved $50, and we did a much better job than the guy that my mom usually gives $50 to, because he doesn't pick up the leaves. If anything, he'll blow the leaves under the cars and the bushes, and it looks bad. So we saved ourselves $50. We got the job done. We did some exercise, moving around, got out of the house for a little bit, and yeah, that's part of frugal living. Another thing that we cannot be lazy about, especially when it comes to frugality, is self care. And I know, like I said, this is another thing that's easier said than done. Because when I come from work, especially a long, stressful day, the last thing I want to do is self care, to be honest with you. And I'm not too proud of myself for not keeping up with that self care. But there's, thanks to the internet, I know about the rice mask. And I have done a video that you can also go back if you haven't seen it and learn how to do the rice mask. I got that from the Asian culture. And Asian people have beautiful skin. And the rice mask is very inexpensive. You know, You know what you're putting in your face because you can do it at home. You know, the rice mask. And it's mainly rice, water that I can get from the sink, and honey. Very simple. There's cocoa butter. I grew up with cocoa butter. Some people like Jergens, the cherry almond scent. That's really good too. I had a patient once when I was doing home health that she had beautiful skin. I didn't see any wrinkles, and she was a elderly woman. And that's what she wanted me to put on her was Jergens after she finished bathing. So yeah, believe it or not, um, that's what makes women look and feel better is putting lotion on, putting the rice mask on. Um, I have a confession, but we have a LED mask at home that we haven't been using. That's a waste of money. You know, when you buy a gadget such as a LED mask, and if you don't use it, that's a waste. But if you buy it and you actually use it every day, that's not a waste. You have invested in your self care. And there's people that they spend money to go to these places to either get like hair laser treatment or all this stuff. And I have nothing against it, but there's like I have a laser hair laser device that I can do at home. So instead of going and spending $80+ just to have somebody do it on me, it's best not to be lazy, to shave and do it myself, you know? Put music on, put a podcast, but me doing it myself, I save money. And I did used to go to a place where they did the laser treatment, and I had a coworker at the time that was like, "How come you don't do some research and see what you can do, so you can save those $80+?" And I didn't think about it much. To me, going to that laser place was like a doctor's routine. You know, like I have to have it done. And then I thought about it and I'm like, she's right. And I told her, you know, I actually have a device, a laser device at home. And she's like, well, do it at home instead. And I'm like, you're right. There's, of course, I'm sure everybody knows about Pamela Anderson. Uh, I saw on social media that she said there's no such thing as anti aging. We're all going to get old. And for me, that was all that I need to hear. Coming from someone with resources that was drop dead gorgeous. She's still beautiful now, you know. It's just, we cannot compare ourselves from when we were younger to, you know, when we get older. But to me, for someone that came with the resources or has all the resources that you would think she can buy the fountain of youth, you know, sort of speak. Um, I'm like, you know what? She's right. It doesn't mean not to do anything at all, but just to do what makes you feel and look better without breaking the bank. Excuse me. A couple of years ago, when I was in my debt free journey and I was doing my very best to pay off, it was about $8,000 worth of credit card debt. I think I ended up paying much more because of interest rate, you know. So I would say about nine, maybe 10 grand I had to pay off, and it took me quite a while. But I was so determined. And around that time, I was really busting my behind. Well, I'm still am, but before it was like much. I was much more strict. In my mind, I had that this had to be paid for, and thank God, I got it done. However, I have a neighbor that she was very concerned about me, and she was even in tears. It makes me sad thinking about it. And she's like, you know, you're still very young. To to see you stuck in the house, it breaks my heart. You know, I want you to go out more. I want you to enjoy life. And she had tears in her eyes. Like, it was, it broke my heart too. Um, but you know, what I had planned was to pay off that credit card debt. And I understand too where she's coming from, because youth is very short lived. You know, it's sad because being a kid is short lived. Youth is very short lived, and then it seems like old age, that's a long time. um, and I understand where she was coming from. And I was very active in my Frugal group on Facebook, and I told them, you know, my situation and what my neighbor told me and how she feels, if they had any ideas. And they told me, well, first of all, it's very sweet to have somebody concerned for you. And second of all, you know, there's a lot of free activities. There's the library. There's, oh, speaking of the library, when you have a library card, there's also benefits to it. Uh, my sister Domly knows more about it, but uh, you know, of course, you can get books, you can get DVDs. Um, if they have DVDs, last time I remember they used to have that you can rent them out, but now I'm like, I stopped for a moment. I'm like, do they still have it? But I know there's benefits for, you know, holding a library card. Um, Another thing is going to the park, and that's true. There's two parks that I love very much with the waterfront. Um, and when I go there, I kind of forget about everything for a moment, you know. And when my mom had her open heart surgery and she was going through, I would say, a little bit of sadness, you know, I would take her over there. We'll get a $6 deal from Dunkin' Donuts and just sit there and look at the water, the birds. I'll do things like that to cheer her up without breaking the bank. There's beaches here in Florida. My favorite one to go to, because it's the closest one, is Cypress Beach. I know it's not the best beach, but it's close by. And unfortunately, we do gotta pay for the parking now. But before, this happened recently. Before we didn't have to, but now we do. But that's the cheapest beach I would say to go to. That's near me. Um, what else? During, when was it, New Year's Eve of last year, I saw that there was a special going on in Busch Gardens, and I told my mom about it, and we're like, yeah, let's get it. You know, I have the Fun Pass, which is the cheapest one, but it's paid for the whole year. My mom got the pass that includes the parking and getting some deals, so that also helps us out with paying, you know, for parking when we get there. Uh, what else? There's a few things to do that cost very little money, or you know, not much at all. But it's just doing our research, taking advantage of like the Busch Garden deal. If you have a zoo nearby or a theme park, they usually have deals going on around Christmas time, New Year's, that you can just pay everything up front for the whole year and then go whenever you like. So I want to end this video with a good question. One of my coworkers asked me, if one had to go, which one will you choose? And the three options were your mom, Jesus, billions of dollars. And to be honest, it was tough for me because all three are very important. To be honest, I love my mom. I love Jesus. Faith is very important too. And I was thinking, man, money can solve most of my problem. So yes, please comment below which one would you choose that had to go and why. And please like, share, subscribe, follow, and thanks for watching, because I know this was a long video, so I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch my video. I appreciate it so much. And yes, stay safe, and you know, be a frugal person of Tampa, or wherever you live, and you'll see that your life will get better. Bye. Peace.